He thought he was anonymous, just another guy behind a screen making threats. But what he didn't know was that the girl he tried to blackmail had a lawyer for a best friend. And in less than 45 minutes, I found out exactly who he was and made sure his life would never be the same. If you've ever wanted to see someone get exactly what they deserve, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Because this story, this isn't just revenge. This is precision. Let's get into it. It started with a mistake. Not a huge one, not life-ending, just one of those decisions people make when they think they can trust someone. My friend had been talking to this guy online for a while. Nothing serious, just conversations, some flirting, the usual. And eventually she sent him a few pictures. Not even extremely explicit, just personal enough that in the wrong hands they could be used against her. But she trusted him, at least at first. Then things started to feel off. You know that gut feeling? That quiet voice in your head that says, something isn't right here. Yeah, that. He was vague about who he was. Wouldn't share much beyond a first name, a username, and some scattered details about his job. He wasn't even in the same country, but he told her he'd be traveling soon. Said he'd be near her area. They even talked about meeting up. That's when things shifted. The tone changed. The energy changed. And suddenly, the guy she thought she knew didn't feel safe anymore. So she did the smart thing. She backed out. That's when he snapped. The messages went from casual to cold to calculated. And then came the line that changed everything. If you don't follow through, I'll post your pictures. No hesitation. No bluffing tone. Just a straight-up threat. You can imagine how that feels. Your chest tightens. Your mind races. You start thinking about worst-case scenarios. Who will see them? What if they spread? What if it never goes away? That's the power these people rely on. Fear. Control. Silence. Now here's the part he didn't plan for. She wasn't alone. Because I'm not just her friend. I'm an attorney. And when she showed me the messages, I didn't feel panic. I felt something else. Focus. He thought he was hidden. Behind a username. Behind a screen. Behind distance. But anonymity is a lot more fragile than people think. So I started digging. First, his username. That led me to a TikTok account. That TikTok account led me to an Instagram. And the Instagram had his real name. Now we're getting somewhere. From there, I found his LinkedIn. And suddenly everything started clicking. His job matched what he told her. The company name matched a logo he once casually showed in a picture. Even the shirt he wore in one of the photos, branded. He handed me the confirmation without realizing it. Now here's where most people would stop. But I didn't, because I wasn't just trying to scare him. I was going to make this real. I gathered everything. Screenshots of the threats, the messages, showing his username, the photos he sent of himself, a picture of his motorcycle, with a license plate clearly visible, even images he sent from his workplace. And that last one, that was the key. Because in one of those photos, he showed his work laptop. Screen open, calendar visible, company data exposed. And even worse, photos of coworkers taken without their consent. At that moment, I knew something important. This wasn't just about my friend anymore. This guy wasn't just reckless. He was a liability. So I did what lawyers do best. I wrote an email. Not an angry rant. Not emotional. Cold. Structured. Precise. I sent it to the CEO, the VP of HR, the operations manager, the PR team. And in that email, I laid everything out. Calmly. Clearly. With evidence. I showed his threats, his identity, the connection between his online accounts, the workplace photos, the exposed company information. And then I added the part that matters most. Consequences. I informed them that if this situation wasn't handled, I would be forwarding everything to law enforcement in his country. And since he planned to travel to the US, federal authorities would be notified as well. And if they still chose to send him, they could deal with the fallout. Then we waited. And here's the thing. I told my friend not to block him. Let him talk. Let him dig deeper. And oh, he did. More messages. More panic. More mistakes. Every word tightening the noose he built himself. Less than 12 hours later, we got our answer. He was fired. Just like that. Gone. No drawn-out investigation. No second chances. Because the company didn't care about the online drama. They cared about one thing. He had exposed company data, photographed employees, shared internal information. That's not a red flag. That's a termination. And him? Oh, he responded. Of course he did. Messages flooded in. How could you do this? I didn't mean it. I didn't even do anything. But that's the thing. He did do something. He made a threat, and that alone was enough. People think revenge is about destruction, but it's not. It's about consequences. He didn't lose his job because of revenge. He lost it because of his own actions. All I did was make sure those actions were seen. There's a moment in situations like this where fear turns into clarity, where you stop asking, what if? And start saying, enough. And sometimes, that's all it takes to flip the entire power dynamic. If you made it this far, drop a comment. Do you think this was justified or too far? And if you want more stories where karma hits exactly when it should, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the next story might be even worse.